Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tyson James, president of Sound Faith Consulting, and I'm joined by my brother and colleague and all around awesome guy, vice president of Sound Faith Consulting, Raul Jaramillo. Say hello, Raul.
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to be giving you all the information and details about the upcoming Sound Faith 2024 Apologetics Conference. Super excited about it. It's going to be an awesome event. We've got tons of people already registered to attend, so we hope you will join them. But first, let me just give you a little background on who we are. If you're not familiar with Sound Faith Consulting, basically, we do all of the dirty work for professionals in Christian philosophy, theology, and apologetics. We really want these folks to be able to focus on what they do best, which is research, writing, speaking, publishing, teaching, and we don't think that they need to be constantly doing things like monitoring their social media or creating posts or doing graphic design and things like that. So we do a lot of admin work for those professionals. Um, and the way that this conference came about, coming up in November, is Biola University used to put on an annual apologetics conference in conjunction with the Evangelical Theological Society and Evangelical Philosophical Society annual meeting. And we found out that they're no longer going to be putting on that conference. And one of the great things about it is because so many amazing world-class scholars are in the same place at the same time, having an apologetics conference for lay people is just a great opportunity to train the community on this information. And so I reached out to a bunch of different speakers, and we've been able to get a venue and really put together what I think is going to be an amazing conference. So, Raul, you got any thoughts before I jump into a couple other things?
It's just an amazing opportunity to get to know one of several of the top defenders of the Christian faith in this event. I'm pretty excited. It's been a while since I've been to the U.S. and I think I've only been one time in California, so it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, tell them where you are.
I'm from Mexico. I'm located in central Mexico in a state called or named San Luis Potosi, which is about 5 hours from Mexico City. I always say that because everybody kind of identifies Mexico City, the capital of Mexico. But yes, I'm about 5 to 6 hours from there, and I've been to the U.S. several times. I've met you in person, and I've got to hang around with top scholars, which is a huge blessing, and I feel really, really blessed for that opportunity. And everybody's going to have that opportunity if they join on November 2024 on
Yeah,
this conference.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. Our company has employees and people, staffers just all over the world. So, really crazy time that we live in, that we can have a company fully operational with people who don't live anywhere near each other. So I love that about it. But yeah, anyway, so the dates for the Sound Faith 2024 conference are November 22nd and 23rd. It's going to be the evening of the 22nd and pretty much all day on the 23rd. We will be having in-person attendees as well as streaming the conference live. The live stream will include the keynote sessions by Dr. William Lane Craig, Mike Licona, and J. Warner Wallace. And we're also going to have a YouTuber by the name of Ruslan KD doing commentary and interviews in between the keynote sessions. So it really is a great value. I think the early bird tickets for the online attendance are only $5. And that really helps us to continue to put on conferences like this and provide services for our clients. Super important because we're not a nonprofit organization getting a bunch of donations. So this really helps us out. Um, yeah. So one thing that I wanted to talk about is the website, which I think is just absolutely beautiful. If you check out soundfaith24.com, that is the conference website. Again, that's soundfaith24.com. There's a website put together by a Reasonable Faith chapter director named Matt Bilyeu. It's just beautiful. It's got a lot of interactive graphics and really looks nice. So thanks, Matt. Shout out to Matt for hooking us up with the website. But there you can see a countdown of the days until the conference down to the second. It says 69 days, 7 hours, 54 minutes, and 24 seconds. So really, really pretty cool to have that ticker there. You can see the partners that we have for the conference, which is Apologetics on Mission, Free Thinking Ministries, which is founded by one of our speakers, Tim Stratton. And Apologetics on Mission, I should say, also was founded by one of our speakers, Ben Clifton. Reasonable Faith is a sponsor or a partner, and Emmanuel Faith Community Church, which is the venue hosting the event. They're in Escondido, California. You can go to the website to order tickets and see all of the speakers, as well as the schedule that we have planned, and directions to the venue. So it's just a really, really great website. You'll also see the different types of tickets there. So right now we have on the website early bird in-person tickets, early bird online tickets, and then we have discounted tickets for military personnel. So being military myself, or ex-military myself, and my wife is still active duty, we do have a heart for military. So we want to see a bunch of military folks come to the event. And then also we have a contact form. So if you have any questions about the event, please reach out to us through the contact form. We will get back to you as soon as possible about that. So awesome website. Check it out, soundfaith24.com. And then I wanted to talk about the speakers. So this lineup is just absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, Raul, you and I have been working with Reasonable Faith for many years now. And so the first stop was to invite Dr. Craig to participate. So he said yes, and that just kind of got the ball rolling. And since Dr. Craig was speaking, a lot of other people have been willing to come on. So before we get too much into the other speakers, though, let me just get your thoughts on working for Reasonable Faith and your interactions with Dr. Craig.
Oh, well, that's been amazing. Just remember that I have a question for you when I finish.
All right.
But working with Reasonable Faith, I mean, it has been an amazing adventure. And I mean, I've learned a lot, and to have the privilege to learn directly from Dr. Craig. I mean, I think one of the best things that has happened to me is that because I'm in my position as the Reasonable Faith chapter director, or regional chapter director for the Spanish-speaking chapter directors in Latin America, is that I'm able to reach out to Dr. Craig and schedule Q&A sessions. And these Q&A sessions, I mean, man, I learned so much from them. There was a point in my life where I learned a lot from Dr. Craig's debates, and I just devoured all of his debates online. Then eventually I came to his Defenders class, and then to the Q&As and the questions of the week and all of that. But being capable of asking Dr. Craig straightforward questions, being able to push back, have a little bit of interaction. He is really gracious and patient with some of our questions, and he really he's an amazing guy that takes your questions seriously and tries to provide the best answer he's capable of. So I've learned a lot, and being able to interact on the other side with chapter directors that are passionate, that are willing to go the step forward and go the extra mile to try to share apologetic content to others that they themselves have learned either from Dr. Craig or another Christian philosopher or theologian. It's just an amazing, and it always encourages me. And makes me want to keep moving forward. And that's what the conference is all about, to try to bring all of the scholarly and academic minds in the Christian worldview to the pew and to the people that needs this, and that they need this for their everyday life. So it's really amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say something, but you said you had a question. So what's your question?
Well, I mean, it's awesome and amazing. I mean, I'm Mexican, so I'm probably a little bit disconnected from the idea of the veterans and the U.S. Army and all of that. But how do you think that your own experience in the Army has shaped your approach to apologetics, or has it impacted at all?
Oh, so first of all, I was in the Air Force, and the Air Force people usually take uh, uh, great offense if you say that they were in the Army, but I won't
Oh,
take
okay.
offense.
Sorry. Oh, I began saying that I'm not Mexican, so I don't know those particulars.
No, it's good. Yeah, so I actually got interested in apologetics while I was in the military. So that's kind of like my view of apologetics is kind of like all wrapped up in who I was at that time. Um, and how I think it's impacted me is being in the military, you get a sense of what is trivial and what is significant, right? Like when
Mm,
you're on a mission, you're doing things that can mean life or death. And there are so many little conversations or disputes in Christianity about certain topics, or, just differences between Christians on a lot of things, that a lot of those things just don't interest me, or I put them off to the side because I realize that what we're doing in trying to teach people the justifications for the truth of Christianity is so much more important than these other trivial matters. So I would say my military background really helped me to get a focus for um, the the hierarchy of importance among topics and just
mm,
issues in life in general. And then also there's the discipline aspect, right? To continually advance in your knowledge in apologetics and just in your Christian life in general, you do need to have a level of discipline. And so, I think that helped me to, my military background really helped me to have a level of discipline that's been helpful in not only learning for myself and developing as a person, but also being a leader in the apologetics community, right? I wouldn't be in my position today if I was poor at leading. And right now we
mm.
have about 250 uh, reasonable faith chapters in 40 different countries, trying to run a company with Sound Faith Consulting and helping clients who are professionals in these fields. It just requires a lot of discipline. So definitely the military training and background has helped me in that as well.
Thanks for that answer.
Yeah,
Pretty
man.
pretty insightful.
Yeah, you didn't tell me you were going to ask that question beforehand, so you kind of caught me off
I didn't plan it, to be honest.
guard. Shout out to the people commenting. Cristianismo Razonable. Hello from Tijuana, Mexico. Rahil Shahid Kamar. I'd be interested to know where you are. That's a very interesting name. Sounds very Arab. I was an Arabic linguist in the Air Force, so that sounds like a very Arabic name. And Javier Cabrero. Good to see you. Asking if there is a discount for teachers too. Unfortunately, we haven't set up a discount for teachers this time, but maybe next year. Yeah, we do have to cover our costs for this conference, and since it's the first, and since this is our inaugural conference, there are a lot of costs involved. So, but yeah, they're actually pretty affordable tickets if you look online. Like if you look at some of the other apologetics conferences, they're actually far more expensive than ours. So it's pretty affordable. And not only that, but we're going to be giving away an absolute ton of free resources at the conference. So I think it's well worth the cost of admission. Yeah, so thousands of dollars worth of resources that we're going to be giving away at the conference. So plus, getting to hear from all of the amazing speakers, which, by the way, the ticket prices, the revenue also goes to helping pay the speakers. Because at a lot of these conferences, I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of these conferences, the speakers don't actually get paid. There are some conferences where they do, but some of them they don't get paid. So we really want to treat our speakers well, and the ticket prices actually go largely to help compensate them for their time. Yeah, great to see you guys all, though. If there's anybody else out there, I'm just interested to know, maybe you can drop a comment, say hello, and let us know how the audio is. Want to make sure we're coming through clearly. That would be appreciated. Yeah, and also, if you guys have any questions about the conference, or just want to ask questions in general about some of the speakers or the topics they're speaking on, please let us know in the comments. What are you going to say, Raul?
Yeah, well, I was just want to say that I've been monitoring the comments here, and I think that they can hear us okay because nobody has commented anything on that. Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty much people all around the world are involved in this conference, which is really amazing. I mean, got to know people from Africa, from India, from all around Latin America, obviously, from the U.S., Canada, Europe. I mean, it's just amazing the reach that apologetics has, and the need apologetics. Uh, the need of the Church of Apologetics, because I mean, I was talking to a friend from Argentina, and he says that in TikTok, for example, there's a lot of garbage, and that people need answers. That he says that there's two ways you can see a TikTok, because he says that there's a lot of bad arguments against the Christian faith on TikTok and on social media in general. But there are also those kinds of persons, those atheists, that post these kinds of questions against the Christian faith, but they're kind of on a spirit of, I want to learn and I want to actually understand what you Christians have to say against these kinds of objections. So I'm pretty confident that the church needs these kinds of conferences that we're working on setting up together, that will happen on November, to provide those answers and to prepare people to be capable of answering those objections.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring that up, because in the Reasonable Faith Facebook group, not the chapters group, but just the regular discussion group, I recently posted the question, like, what do you guys think is the biggest apologetics issue today? And several people repeated the same response, which was the fact that there isn't apologetics in the church. And several people have raised that as a huge issue. Like, they think, and there was one guy that was like, yeah, this is something that's ridiculous. The church thinks it's like, or treats it as if it's some type of supplemental add-on to the church, that it's not really essential, that, we need to be focusing on these other areas. And so they neglect apologetics. And so that's why conferences like this are so vitally important, is because people in churches are not being fed this information. They're not being trained on how to defend their faith, or not just to defend their faith to other people, but to resolve their own doubts, right? Christians are not without doubt. And so this is hugely important for strengthening those Christians against those times when maybe you're broken down, you're really going through some crises, and you need some intellectual basis that is unchanging, right? Because your emotions, they go up and down, but if you have an intellectual basis for your beliefs, you're not as likely to be swayed by those personal feelings. So yeah, I think this type of conference, and especially the caliber of speakers that we have, is vitally important for raising up more discipled Christians who are capable of taking Christianity to the next generation and really challenging the secular culture, challenging unbelievers with the truth of Christianity, because it's so important, right? It's God's love for people, that they want people to come to himself And I think it was C.S. Lewis that said, the heart cannot rejoice in what the mind rejects as false, right? So if the mind rejects it, then the heart can't rejoice in it. This kind of conference really helps to bridge the two. So yeah, absolutely. Josh Payne, thanks for the comment, man. He said he's excited to join the conference online, grateful for the online option. Yes, this was something that we decided early on we really wanted to do. It's a lot of logistics, trying to make sure everything is connected and running smoothly. Hopefully it'll run smoothly at the time of the conference, but super excited for that, to add value to the conference for the people that can't attend in person. We hope to see people from all around the world tuning in to the conference. I know there are people in Europe and the Philippines and several other countries who've already purchased tickets. So very excited that they're going to be joining us as well. And Ruslan KD, I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but let's just talk about him for a second. So this guy is a hip hop artist, an entrepreneur, a YouTube streamer. He does a billion different things. His YouTube channel has something like over 600,000 subscribers. And he lives like 20 minutes from the venue. Which I didn't even know at the time that we got the venue. I just heard he kind of lived somewhere around the area. So it's really cool that he's agreed to kind of be the online host and provide content for the online streamers in between the keynote sessions. He will be joined, by the way, by one of our clients from Sound Faith Consulting. His name is Arthur Asadurian. He's the founder of Apologia Center. So if you're not familiar with that ministry, go check them out. Also, a YouTube platform, really solid content on all sorts of Christian doctrine issues and apologetics. So Arthur's a good friend. Grateful that he's going to be joining Ruslan online to provide commentary and reflections on the keynote talks.
His channel is really good. I mean, I was looking at his content the other day, and he offers quite a good reflections, good analysis of current controversies. I didn't even know that he was he's a musician or a rapper, right?
Yeah, hip hop artist. Yeah.
Hip hop. Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I didn't get that vibe when I started to watch his content. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool.
He's an Armenian guy. You don't expect some Armenian guy to be a hip hop artist, but there he is.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Really solid dude. And he's just a cool guy. Like, he's got a very laid back, chill personality. And he just approaches things very, biblically. Like, he's, constantly taking a look at the culture. He's got his finger on the pulse of the culture, really keeping people up to date on what's going on and what's relevant to culture and Christianity. And that's so needed today, right? We need people like that who are bridging the gap between the church and what's going on outside the church walls. So really thankful for his ministry. Saludos desde Colombia, dice Juan Contreras. Hola, Juan. Hey.
Yeah, hopefully Juan is able to join via online, or if he is able to travel, we're gonna be really happy to see you. I haven't met Juan. He's a chapter director from Colombia, and he's a pretty cool dude as well. He's also a musician. I think he does. Oh God, he's gonna kill me. I think he's kind of a pop rock artist.
He'll correct us in the comments, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what's really cool about this too is just going back to your background. People don't know this, but Raul started as a volunteer chapter director. Before he came on, and like I think one other chapter director before you in Latin America, we didn't have any chapters in Latin America at all. And I was praying, Lord, open a door. Like, we need some apologists in Latin America. And you and a couple of other people come on, and then, it started to pick up, and then you became the regional chapters director for Latin America, or the Spanish-speaking countries, including Spain. And suddenly it just blew up. Like, we started adding chapters left and right in just crazy places. Like we said, we have a chapter director in Colombia. We've got him in Ecuador, Brazil now. We have a regional chapter director in Brazil, Leandro. So just amazing what the Lord is doing, opening up doors in Latin America for apologetics ministries.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I think Colombia actually is the second country after Mexico with most chapter directors, Spanish-speaking chapter directors. So, yeah,
That's
definitely
amazing.
Colombia is growing pretty quickly, and one of the key factors, I think, it's Joan's contributions as well, because he has a huge platform. He already was a YouTuber. He was kind of like Ruslan, in that he offered comments on culture and controversial topics on related to apologetics. He did book reviews and stuff. So when he joined the chapter directors, it was a huge win for us to have him work with us and alongside with us. It's pretty amazing everything that he's done, and all of the chapter directors are working like that.
Yeah. Rahil says he's from Pakistan. Awesome, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the work that we're doing with some of our clients, like Reasonable Faith. We're getting materials translated into Urdu, which is the major language spoken in Pakistan. So um, there's such a hunger for it. Like, the videos we've created in Urdu, they've gotten millions and millions of views, which is just insane. Like, that's I think 98, 99% Muslim country. And so for our videos defending the historicity of the resurrection and talking about the Trinity and all of these different things, to have millions of views is pretty cool. Getting to see the impact that those translations have. Juanse Bravo de Ecuador. Good to have you with us, man. All right. Well, yeah, let's go through the speakers then, because that is one of the most exciting things about this conference, right? We've got our keynote speakers, the headliners, Dr. William Lane Craig. Obviously, if you guys don't know him by now, you haven't been around very much. Yeah, Dr. Craig, the man pretty much everybody knows, going to be speaking at the conference. Actually, what's interesting about him being in the conference is that I still don't know what his topic will be.
Really?
I've asked him, I've given him, like, he asked me for a list of options, and I gave him a list of options, and he still hasn't gotten back to me. So this is a big mystery. This is a big mystery that is going to keep the anticipation high, I think. What is he going to speak about? Is it going to be something that he's spoken about before, or is it going to be something brand new? I have no idea. So
give us four of the options that you presented to him and see if we can guess.
let me see.
We should offer in the conference, if Dr. Craig doesn't confirm which topic he's gonna do, perhaps we can offer like a raffle or something, like who guesses the topic that he's gonna talk about.
It correctly.
Yeah.
All right. Let me look at that up real quick.
Yeah, let's see here. Who else is connected?
Okay, so some of the options I shot him. What is metaphysics and why is it important for the church? I think that's a very important topic, because a lot of people don't really know how important metaphysics is, and it's like critically important. So I think that would be a good talk. Also, I suggested apologetics. Where do we go from here? So this would be a talk about kind of Dr. Craig giving a summary of his insights from his career and his major works, and then a vision of how to advance apologetics into the future. I think that would be really good because there are a lot of apologists who kind of tread the same ground over and over. And so it's good to have a vision of like, is there anything else we could be working on? Are there new fields that really need work? Or how can we improve on what's already been done? So I think that would be pretty cool. A couple others are why science and theology both need philosophy. I think a lot of people don't realize that science itself relies on philosophy as well as theology. There is no such thing as theology without philosophy. And
Hmm.
people are always really like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, think about it. The second you say that God is one thing and not another, you're using the law of non-contradiction. You're
Hmm.
assuming it, right? Because your words mean one thing and not another. So, um, yeah, good theology actually requires good philosophy. So I think that would be a really powerful talk. I suggested divine sovereignty and human freedom, which is always a really good topic. Also talking about the rising popularity of open theism. So there are a lot of open theists out there, and old open theists and new. So that might be an interesting topic to cover. Also suggested talking about the spiritual benefits of apologetics. A lot of people think of apologetics as merely a mental sort of academic exercise, but
Hmm.
for anybody who has worked in apologetics, you've experienced the impact, the positive impact that it's had on your spiritual well-being, your relationship with God, the way that you speak with others, how you handle doubt, all of these different things. So I think that could also be a powerful talk. I also suggested to him a couple of others, like maybe 10 important theological concepts made simple. So there are a lot of people that there are really important concepts that you and I, Raul, we work with constantly. We had to work really hard to understand them, and they're very
Hmm.
important. But certain lay people in the pew might not have the time or resources to really tackle those issues for a long period of time in order to be able to understand them. So I suggested maybe taking the time to break down some theological concepts. And then one of the other ones that I suggested to him was shaping culture. Actually, I said shaping cultures, plural. And
Mm.
this would be talking about how apologetics can positively impact a nation. So it's coming up on election season here in the US. We've got the presidential elections coming up in November, a very political time. And there's also a lot of cultural things going on too. So, one of the things that he says in his books is that apologetics, one of the benefits of it is in shaping culture so that Christianity can be seen as a rationally viable option. So, I thought it might be a good opportunity for him to talk about that as well. So lots of options on the table. He just hasn't gotten back to which one he wants. And he might reject them all and go with something totally out of left field. So who knows?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was pretty interested in the metaphysics because I don't think that Dr. Greg has delved into metaphysics like in a platform like expounding on metaphysics on its own. So
Mm,
that's gonna be something new, and definitely the interaction between faith and philosophy, into theology and philosophy. That's definitely something that we don't want to miss. But oh man, I didn't know that Dr. Greg hadn't confirmed which topic he was gonna speak and he was gonna share.
yeah.
Now I'm pretty excited about what's the wild card.
The pressure's on. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll get wind of this live stream. And, yeah, pick something. Rahil says, talk about anthropology. Yeah, actually, that's going to be one of the topics covered at the conference. So you'll definitely want to tune into that. Eric Hernandez is going to be talking about arguments for the soul. It's going to be super fascinating. He's, I've heard his material. He's just a fantastic speaker. So it's going to be a really, really good talk. Also, Tim Stratton is going to be there, founder of Free Thinking Ministries. He's also a Reasonable Faith chapter director and one of our Sound Faith consulting clients. He's going to be talking about the free thinking argument, which is all about, how rationality doesn't really make any sense under naturalism. And so rationality itself points to the existence of God and the immaterial soul. So some really good talks about anthropology coming up at the conference for sure.
I had a Q&A session with Eric on the soul, and with Eric and the Reasonable Faith chapter directors. That was a little bit frustrating that we all are Spanish speaking, and Eric Hernandez is Mexican, and we had to do the interview in English because he doesn't know Spanish. That was pretty annoying. But no. All jokes aside, he's a really fun guy. He's really smart, and he's an excellent speaker. I had to watch the interview over and over again to get some of the key issues because he's so well prepared on the areas of the soul and mind body problem and stuff like that, and some stuff just went over my head, but that's because he's just so prepared. And an impressive thing that, and I think that's something that always kind of pushes me into keep moving forward, is that he learned a lot on his own. Just following the work of people like J.P. Moreland and Dr. Craig and others, he's managed to become, for me at least, one of the authorities on the topic of soul and mind and body problems. And I'll always reach out to him. Hey, I have this. I don't understand what it is. Topics related to that subject. He's the man. He's the guy I go to.
Yeah, really solid dude. Very intelligent, very charismatic. I love hanging out with Eric. I got to speak at a conference with him in Houston just a few months ago, and we had a phenomenal time. So very much looking forward to seeing him there as well. Yeah. Dr. Craig, we don't know, but it should be interesting no matter what. We do have Mike Licona, obviously a very well-known New Testament historian. He has published some of the most well-known work in contemporary apologetics on the resurrection these days. Very excited to have him speak as well. He is going to be speaking on differences in the Gospels, and actually his is a little more specific too. He's going to be speaking about sort of the relationship between the differences in the Gospels and how we view things like the inspiration of Scripture. So it's going to be talking about the genre of ancient biography, and just the way that we should allow the text to speak for itself instead of imposing a view of inspiration on the text, which a lot of people do. So really taking a scholarly approach to that. Very, very excited to have him. Let me tell you a story about Mike Licona real quick. This is pretty cool. I got to meet him and hang out with him a long time ago when I was still a student in the Masters in Apologetics at Biola University. So I had to go down to Georgia to attend a weekend seminar with Dr. Craig at his church, Johnson Ferry Baptist Church in Georgia, which was super cool. I'll tell you more about that later. But one of the guys reached out to Mike Licona because he lives in the same area, and he invited him to dinner. And so a few of us students went to dinner with Dr. Licona, and we're just chatting. And suddenly in the restaurant, we see like all of these students come in, all these high school students looking like really dressed up in formal wear and like tuxedos and dresses and stuff. We were like, what is going on? Well, apparently there was like this homecoming dance or something that everybody was going to. And so they were going out to eat beforehand. And the restaurant was getting super crowded. We couldn't hear ourselves or anything. So Michael's like, hey, do you guys want to just come back to my house and hang out for a while? We can keep chatting. I was like,
Really?
yeah, when you're like just getting into apologetics, when you're studying and you've only read the work of these guys, you're like, oh my goodness, to be able to pick your brain at your house for a while is phenomenal. So we did. We all followed him back to his house, got to meet his wife, Debbie, and they were just very gracious in letting us hang out. But it was, I think we spent like another couple of hours at his house asking him all sorts of questions about his work, his debate preparation, especially. And then he gave all of us like super cool advice on reaching the goals that we had told him that we wanted to reach. So just a super nice guy. Glad to have him at the conference as well.
Yeah, no, Mike is really really cool. He's also very patient. He's a very patient person. He's very friendly, and I've interviewed him I think twice now, and I've got to ask him a couple of questions via email. Although I'm really really careful with that because having the email of a philosopher or a New Testament scholar, man, the amount of self control that you need to have to not reach out and ask him, and all sorts of questions that come up, and you see an objection on YouTube and you want to ask everybody on via email. But I mean, yeah, it takes um, some effort because, and I think about it like this: I'm not gonna have them forever to be able to answer my questions. I need to start finding my own questions, and I've pretty much mastered that ability to stop myself from reaching out and just overflowing their email box with my questions. But I mean, on Sound Faith 2024, perhaps we should mention that there's some of the tickets, the VIP tickets, are going to be able to hang out with these guys, right?
Yeah, so there is a VIP add-on for folks who want to actually meet the keynote speakers. So Dr. Craig, Dr. Licona, and J. Warner Wallace. It is a bit extra, but that's because these guys have very limited time at the conference. Like Dr. Craig, he's pretty much going to be there for his talk and then for a few more minutes, and then he's gone. He's got to catch a plane back. So we wanted people to, have some time to interact with these folks. So we do have a VIP add-on. Also, during the sessions, at the end of each session, there will be some Q&A time for people to interact with them. But obviously, the Q&A lines get pretty long pretty quick for these guys. So, only a few people are going to be able to ask direct questions. But soon we're going to have a QR code up for everyone who wants to submit a question beforehand. So any of our keynote speakers, you'll be able to submit questions through the QR code. And that way, if we have a bunch of sort of repeat questions, we'll make sure to include those in the Q&A time as well. But yeah, definitely, it's going to be a great opportunity for some people to meet these scholars who they usually only see online or read their books.
No.
Yeah. So another really exciting speaker, Michael Jones, inspiring philosophy himself. He's going to be there, and super excited to have him. His YouTube channel is like just enormous now, and he's got how many subscribers does he have now? It's like
Let's see.
Over.
Let me look it up.
It's like over 100,000, I'm sure. But yeah, super excited to have him.
He's already at 437,000 subscribers.
437,000.
Yep, here it is.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of Michael Jones inspiring philosophy, this is your opportunity to come see him in person in Escondido, California. So kind of a rare opportunity. It doesn't take a whole lot of live speaking gigs, I don't think. So super excited that he's going to be joining us.
Yeah, if you want a reason why to attend the conference, just attend the conference to see if you can get a picture of Michael Jones smiling. That's gonna be a rare jewel in the future. It's gonna be worth thousands of dollars. I already have mine, so I want to encourage everybody to uh, attend the conference just so you're able to get a picture. A rare occasion to see if Mike smiles. Just take your picture, and I'm sure it's gonna be thousands of dollars worth.
Yeah, if we ever need to raise money, bro, but you can auction that off. How about that?
Rare picture of Michael Jones smiling.
Yeah, they say it's more rare than, you know, a Bigfoot sighting or something like that. But you and I both have them, so maybe some attendees will get lucky and catch him smiling. One thing that's really cool too, so this kind of threw me off. So he has a talk called "How Sci-Fi and Fantasy Solve the Problem of Evil." Let me repeat that. How fantasy and sci-fi solve the problem of evil. Now, I got to be honest, when he sent me the title of that talk, I really thought to myself for a second, did I make a mistake in inviting him?
Right.
Like, what is that? So I sent him a message. I was like, can you like help me out here? Like what's going on here? So I asked him a few questions and he clarified a bunch of stuff, and it's going to be a good talk. I'm super excited. I'm not going to give anything away because you need to watch the conference for that. But he's got a pretty good talk, and I think that's a pretty cool title and a pretty cool concept. So super excited for you guys to find out what he means by that.
I think I have an idea of where he's going to go with that, but yeah, you're right. Let's not give any spoilers. People need to go to attend on Mike's talk. I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, I follow. He was a major author, I guess, uh, when it came to the issue of Genesis and young Earth creationism. I mean, I followed his work and his videos, his playlist on Genesis. I mean, it's really really good stuff. I know that he's dealt on the problem of evil as well. I watched one of his videos and I saw him debate. I think it actually, I think I saw Mike debate an ex-Christian apologist, one that lost his faith, and they were debating actually about the problem of evil. And I think that Mike just did an excellent job with that. And it's a topic that he handles pretty well. So I would encourage everybody to attend the conference to listen to Mike and to be able to ask him some questions. And if you want to take a picture with him, just ask him, see if he wants to smile for you, and yeah, there you go. You're gonna get a ton more at the conference.
I wouldn't recommend tickling him to try and get. Don't do that. He might be a short guy, but he's ferocious.
I understand that he was studying for his master's, or did he finish his master's? I don't remember. Do you know?
I don't know. Haven't asked him. Yeah.
Okay.
He could probably have 6 or 7 masters with the amount of research he's put in.
Dude, I mean, when I discovered that he was behind his videos, I went. How do you say this? Went aback? Is that the correct expression? I was taken aback. Right?
Take it back. Yeah.
Taken aback. Yeah. Because I always thought that he was like this brilliant dude that just read all day long and studied all day long, and that he had a team that helped him create his videos. And he said, "No, I just do my videos myself." And I was like, "What? Where do you find the time to produce such quality videos and do the research for those videos?" I mean, it's amazing. He's an amazing guy. I really admire him for that.
Very disciplined. Like he's just constantly pumping out high quality content. So yeah, he's put in a lot of work to get where he is today, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. So super excited about his talks. His other talk is going to be on the archaeological evidence for the Exodus. So that's sure to be another very well attended talk. So get your tickets and get there early because a lot of these talks are going to be packed out and you're not going to find seats. So
Yeah, you still have time. It's still September, but I mean, time is rushing like really, really fast. I mean, I was thinking about going to the conference and stuff like that, and buying my tickets and playing and the Airbnb and stuff like that. And I was thinking about that during May and April, and I said, hey, I'm gonna purchase them in August and stuff like that. But I just, in the blink of an eye, it's already September, and I just purchased my tickets because I mean, time went flying by, and yeah, I would encourage everybody to already purchase the tickets and attend the conference. Plan to attend the conference. It's going to be really, really good.
yeah, and it's cheaper if you buy them early. So our early bird tickets are still cheap. Early bird pricing goes until the end of September. We had initially had them until the end of August, but we wanted to give people plenty of time to save money because in this economy, who can afford super expensive tickets? So we extended the early bird pricing through the end of September. So get them soon because it's already the 13th, right? So
Mm-hmm.
only a couple weeks left. Yep. All right, so that's those two. Another speaker is our buddy Tim Stratton. A lot of you guys know him as the bald guy with the goatee who plays bass guitar for a country band and is constantly seen posting videos of him shooting guns. So he's he's a good friend and client, and thrilled that he's going to be joining us. He'll have I think you'll have a table set up for Free Thinking Ministries as well. So I know a lot of
Okay.
people are interested in meeting him. And then another one of our friends who is just brilliant, Ryan Mullins. Dr.
Oh
R.K.
boy.
Mullins,
Yeah.
oh man, just a super, super smart guy, super cool, down to earth guy who's fun to hang out with, and super excited to have him at the conference. I actually, before I forget, just picked up a couple copies of his new book, Eternal in Love, a little book about a big God, which I'll be giving away soon, of course, because
How many pages is that book?
it is 145 pages.
Really? Oh, I mean, wow.
I
I
mean, he
mean,
wasn't lying when he said it's a little book about a big God.
yeah, that's why I asked, because I know Ryan is like a, a living chat GPT. Um, I was asking, I was doing a Q&A with him a couple of weeks ago, and we touched a lot of subjects, and he knows his stuff pretty well, and you don't want to miss the opportunity from learning from Ryan Mullins. He's a really, really, really great guy and a fun guy, because as you said, he's really down to earth. Because sometimes, and no offense to Dr. Craig, I mean, he's one of my heroes, but you see Dr. Craig being very academic, very polite, professional, very nice guy, and Ryan is just doing jokes and being sarcastic. But I mean, his content is just as good as quality as Dr. Craig's, and it's really, really amazing how he can integrate both his personality, his fun, his jokes and stuff, but still provide really good philosophical content that can help us understand difficult topics. So it's really great to have Ryan on our team.
Yeah, yeah. He might even show up with black fingernail polish and sporting a metal T-shirt. I don't know. So he's a big fan of heavy metal music. So um, yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, he's going to be talking about the coherence of theism. So different models of God, which a lot of people don't realize that when you're talking about Christians and their views of God, there's such a huge variety of
Hmm.
ways that people conceptualize God. And these different conceptualizations have huge implications. So certain conceptions, you're almost like, I don't even, some people, when you tell them, one of these models, they're like, I don't even recognize that as God. You're like, yeah, these are radically different views of the way God is. And so he's going to be talking about those and the importance of getting a good, plausible model of God based on scripture, especially. Yeah, super important.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah. So very excited about these speakers. Like I said, a lot of good ones, and also excited about their topics. Like, Dr. Melissa Kane Travis, professor at HCU, she's going to be speaking, and she's got one of my favorite talk titles. The title of one of her talks is "Cosmic Graveyards and Noble Lies: The Madness of Scientific Materialism."
Wow. Yeah,
Like,
I'm just wrapping my head around the title.
yeah, "Cosmic Graveyards and Noble Lies: The Madness of Scientific Materialism." That sounds like a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, well, did she came up with the same with the title of her talk? That's pretty.
she
It's
came
pretty
up with that
cool.
title. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be profound, but still, I mean, the word scientism there kind of gives a hint of what the talk is going to be about, but it doesn't give the whole idea of what his her talk is going to be. So, wow, pretty good.
Yeah. Well, what's great too is she's going to be one of our few speakers speaking on the the relationship between science and faith. So very, very happy to have brought her on. We didn't talk about the other keynote speaker, J. Warner Wallace.
General Wallace.
Yeah, so the cold case detective himself. So if you guys aren't familiar with J. Warner Wallace, he is a former cold case detective who worked on homicide cases, and he's going to be speaking on the topic of basically speaking on his book, The Truth in True Crime. So basically, what this is it takes a lot of the lessons that he learned during his time as a homicide investigator, and he applies those lessons to the meaning of life, the problem of evil, and all sorts of these other theological issues, things that he's able to draw from this field of expertise and his experience dealing with some of those brutal sides of human nature. J. Warner Wallace is just one of the best apologetic speakers out there right now. So it'll be brilliant for sure.
His material on, because he has the his book. I mean, his how do you call this? His key book, or his most known work, is Cold Case Christianity. But he has another book that is Cold Case Christianity for Kids.
Mm,
And last year or 2 years ago, I don't remember, I had to teach a couple of grade schoolers, elementary school students, on apologetics. And I mean, man, his book was just brilliant. It was designed to help children and elementary students how to think through this difficult topics about the resurrection. How do we know the resurrection happened? History. How do we know that God exists and stuff like that? His work on apologetics for kids, it's really it's great. I mean, it really helped me a lot.
I'm assuming that was translated into Spanish then.
Well, the material technically wasn't translated. I used it to create my own material, but the
Oh,
book hasn't been translated.
well,
I do
yeah, you should,
translate it.
yeah, yeah. We got to get that done sometime. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, it's really good. And there's no material in Spanish for elementary students, for no age. I think even it's really difficult to find something in Spanish on
Yeah.
apologetics.
Yep. We got to continue the work. Yeah. So for those that don't know, I'm also the director of translations for Reasonable Faith. So coordinating a bunch of translations projects all the time, and Raul and several other people on our Reasonable Faith staff work constantly to translate Dr. Craig's material into Spanish as well as Portuguese. And so that's one of the obstacles these days around the world, is like getting this material into native languages. It can be very expensive, but with modern technology, we're able to reduce those expenses quite a bit, as well as make it more efficient. So translations are really benefiting these days from technological advances, but still a long way to go. It's still a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good deal. All right. Let me just give a shout out to the venue real quick. Emmanuel Faith Community Church. They have been awesome to work with. These guys, especially Josh Rose and the guys there, Josh Rose, the pastor there. They've opened their doors and said, we want to have this conference here. They have a beautiful facility. I got to see a video walkthrough of it. The worship center holds about 1,200 people, so we're hoping to max that out. They have all sorts of rooms that are really good for breakout sessions, as well as a chapel, I think, that holds 400 people. They've got a room behind the worship center that the speakers can go and hang out between talks, and lots of room in the foyer area, as well as some other areas where we're going to be setting up some exhibitor tables for other ministries. So it's going to be a really, really cool conference at a really nice venue. So thank you guys, Emmanuel Faith Community Church, for allowing us to have this conference there. We very much look forward to bringing in all these awesome speakers to your church, and hopefully seeing some converts that continue to darken the doors of that church. Yeah, that would be a great outcome, right?
Definitely. I mean, people always say that apologetics doesn't bring anybody to the feet of Christ, right? Doesn't bring anybody to faith. But I mean, I've seen over and over again people reaching out on all of our platforms and social media, whether it's Reasonable Faith or my own webpage or stuff like that. Hey, thank you for the content. I've learned a lot. You helped me restore my faith. I've been following through. And I mean, perhaps it doesn't bring people to faith because that's the work of the Holy Spirit. But as Dr. Craig says, it helps to take away the intellectual barriers that people have put. So apologetics is definitely something that we need in the church. And I'm really, really happy and excited about Sound Faith 2024. It's going to be an amazing moment, an amazing time with all of the speakers and with all of the people that join us, because always listening to people, hearing their questions, listening to where they are intellectually in their own faith is always encouraging and helps us understand what we need to do better and where do we need to focus on. So we will be really, really, really happy to have you guys there.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a good conference. One of the things I wanted to point out too is I have been to apologetics conferences, and there is nothing worse than going through a whole day of conferences and being super hungry in the middle of the conference. Like, you're trying to pay attention to these talks, and you're like, I cannot think. I need to get some food into my belly. So we have right now 3 food trucks that will be coming to the conference, offering food for the conference goers, and we're looking for a 4th food truck as well. So there will be plenty of food to choose from at the conference, and we'll make sure that there's plenty of refreshments as well. So very excited about that. Another thing, Raul, I don't know if this has been your experience, but at a lot of these apologetics conferences, some of the best conversations happen outside of the talks. And in the hallways, at the exhibitor tables, and you're just chatting with a bunch of people, enjoying the conversation. And so what I wanted to do at this conference is incorporate plenty of time so that people have that opportunity, right? Just to be able to mill about, meet new people, chat with the speakers as they're hanging out with attendees, go to the exhibitor tables, check out all of the ministries and all the great resources that are on offer. So I've incorporated tons of time into the schedule of this conference for people to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember one time that I went to, I think it was the last time that I went to EPS, ETS. And this was, I think this was the panel where people were responding to Dr. Craig's book on the historical atom. And there was, it was the panel with, I don't remember this guy's name, Dr. Averbeck. I think it's
Yeah,
Richard.
Richard Averbeck.
Richard Averbeck, Andrew Loke, Joshua Suomidas, and they gave their panel. It was really really cool. That panel, I mean, it was pretty amazing. I think I was in the first or second row, and it was really really cool. But then afterwards, everybody went out, and a bunch of chapter directors and other people that another friends, Chris Gonzalez was there, and we started talking, and then I don't remember. All of a sudden, Dr. Swamidas was with us there, and he was discussing and he was interacting with our questions and offering responses, and we got more insights from him from the small conversation that we had outside of the room, of the conference room, than we got from his lecture. Because his lecture, I mean, you can always watch his lecture on YouTube and he's always there. But when you're able to ask face to face your questions and get to push back on that, clarification questions, it's amazing. That's where the best thing happens.
Yeah, yeah. I at a lot of these conferences, I find myself actually skipping the breakout sometime because I'm in the middle of some awesome conversation. I don't want it to stop, right? And so I didn't want that to happen at this conference. So I incorporated a lot of time for people to have the opportunity to have those discussions. So it'll be great for everybody involved to be able to communicate and just have a good time and fellowship and tossing around those big ideas. What was I going to say? Another thing too is a lot of people get sort of disappointed when they go to these conferences and there's all of these different talks and they want to attend all of them, but you can only attend a certain number, right? And you feel like you're missing out on a lot because there's so many great talks. Well, I wanted to minimize the amount of talks that people missed. So on Saturday, the second day of the conference, the speakers will actually be giving their talks twice. So just back to back, they're going to be giving their talks twice so that attendees don't have to miss out on as much. Not only that, but anybody at all who is registered for the conference, whether you're attending in person or online, you will have access to the recordings of those sessions after the fact. So you're not going to miss out on anything. In fact, we're going to give you access to everything afterwards. But if you want to see it live and have a chance to interact with the speakers personally, you'll definitely want to attend the conference. Sean Mixon, the thought decoder himself, one of our Reasonable Faith chapter directors, he says he's excited. We're excited, man. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for the comment.
Hey, Sean. Glad to see you here, brother.
Sean has a fantastic YouTube channel. He's interviewed Dr. Craig also, and he does great work. If you guys aren't familiar with him, go check out Thought Decoder, the YouTube channel. All right. Tickets. You guys can get tickets at soundfaith24.com.
I was going to ask you, see if, I mean, I haven't used this before, but perhaps I can share my screen and share the website for people to
you can try
see.
it. Do it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I saw your question. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to mess anything up.
Well, let's see how it goes. Oh, let me change this.
We still need to give away some free stuff.
Yep,
Oh, okay,
definitely.
it's popped up. Do you want me to add it to the stage? Yeah, yeah. Hey, look at that.
Hopefully it works okay. Excellent. All right. So, well, everybody who is online, here's the website. Here's where you can book your tickets now. Let's go and take a look at the speakers that we've been talking about. So you can see, man, this is an amazing page.
Yeah.
It's really interactive. You can see Dr. Craig here, Michael Licona, J. Warner Wallace, Melissa Kane Travis, and all of the speakers. This fake Mexican here, Eric Hernandez. Man, I mean, I cannot get over the fact that he likes Taco Bell. I mean, no respectable Mexican agrees that Taco Bell is good, and I'm sorry, but it, tacos are really, really our thing. And yeah, no, I can't accept that.
Piling on the shame, man.
He can take it. He's a good friend. So, well, I mean, the website, you can see everything that's going to happen on November 22, November 23. We have the conference introduction by Kevin Harris and Dr. Willem and Craig giving his topic, and it's
The
to be
mystery
determined.
topic.
Yeah, the mystery topic. Let's go to the schedule here. It's the same thing. The breakout session. This is where everybody's gonna give their breakout sessions. You can attend to the one that has the best title, I guess, like Cosmic Graveyards and Noble Lies: The Madness of Scientific Materialism, or well, this one is also a cool title: Contemplating the Heavens: How the Beauty and Harmony of Creation gave rise to Modern Science.
Melissa
You
Kane
know,
Travis again.
yeah, I originally I thought this was going to be something about the argument of beauty, but gave rise to the modern science. That's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this is going to be an excellent day. But on the next day, we have, well, the keynote speaker, Mike Licona, and the same breakout sessions there. So
If you
it's
go
going
to
to
the
be.
speakers section, the tab at the top, yeah, go to that.
Mhm.
If you click on click on J. Warner Wallace. Yeah. It'll take you to a speakers page just for him with a larger description. And let's see, does it say there? No, it doesn't give his talk description. So
Perhaps below. No.
maybe we still need to add that. But yeah, we'll have descriptions of the talk too.
Oh, here's the countdown, so you
Sure,
can't
yeah.
miss it.
So
Here's a list of our partners: Emmanuel Faith Community Church, Reasonable Faith, Apologetics and Mission, Free Thinking Ministries. Yeah, so definitely you want to check this out, soundfaith24.com. It's going to be pretty exciting. We can't wait to meet you guys there. And yeah, hang out with the speakers. It's going to be pretty fun.
yeah, we still have space for exhibitor tables as well. So if you have a ministry or looking to set up an exhibitor table, we do have a sponsor package that we can send you. I think it's there on the website. You can download the PDF that we put together for those as well. Several different tiers. So, if you want to get your ministry on the slideshow that's shown between the talks and throughout the conference, you can check that out as well. So yeah. Hey man, how about we give away some free stuff?
Definitely. Let's go
You do
ahead.
that? All right. So, first things first, I would like to give a free ticket, free live streaming ticket to anybody who is watching this right now. So, if you're watching and you want a free live streaming ticket, here's what I want you to do. Send an email to contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. Contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. And in the subject line, put live stream ticket. That's all you got to do. Email contact@soundfaithconsulting.com, subject line, live stream ticket. If you do that, and I will check it, I will take everybody within the next 2 hours and give you a free live stream ticket.
Cool.
It's only $5 anyway, but if you want to save $5, I'll give you a ticket. So that's the first giveaway. So one more time, if you want a live stream ticket for free, email me right now at contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. In the subject line, write live stream ticket. Okay, we'll see. We shall see.
I put the email there, contact@soundfaithconsulting.com, right?
Contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. Yep.
Yep, there's an email. You know what to do, and you get tickets for the live stream, right?
Yes, I will send you a code to get a free ticket. Next, we have had people donate in-person tickets. So I am going to give away 2 in-person attendance tickets right now. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway for these in-person tickets is the same thing pretty much. Email me at contact@soundfaithconsulting.com, except in the subject line, write in-person ticket. Okay, we only have 2 of those to give away, so make sure you get your email sent because we're going to be drawing that within the next 2 hours. So in-person ticket in the subject line send that email to contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. We love giving things away at Sound Faith Consulting. I don't know if you guys know that, but we've literally been giving books away every single week this year. And we're not going to stop because we have more books to give away.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty amazing. Everything some of the books that you're giving away, hey, it's like, hey, I want those books, but I'm vice president. I can't. It's gonna be biased, right?
Yeah. You can't enter the giveaway. Yeah. It's really amazing. A lot of these books have been donated by the authors, especially the ones that have been autographed. So just a huge blessing to have such a large network of friends in the apologetics community who are also authors. Yeah. All right, let's give away some books.
Ooh, that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, you guys ready? All right. First book I'm giving away. Contending with Christianity's Critics, Answering New Atheists and Other Objectors by Paul Copan and William Lane Craig. This is a really cool book. So I wasn't even aware of this book until just a couple of months ago, but it's a collection of essays by a bunch of different authors, Christian scholars. So it has chapters by Dr. Craig, James Sinclair, Victor Reppert, Michael Murray, Mark Linville, Greg Gansel, Ben Witherington III, Gary Habermas, Craig Evans, Dan Wallace, Charles Taliaferro, Paul Copan, Stuart Getz, Steve Porter, just a ton of really, really solid scholars. So super excited to give this one away. What do you have to do to enter this giveaway? All right, so you have to do something. What you have to do is share the website on your social media. So right now, go to soundfaith24.com, share the website on your social media, inviting people to attend the conference. Take a screenshot of that post and then email it to us at contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. So share the website, take a screenshot, send the screenshot in an email to contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. That's all you got to do. And then we will notify, we will notify the winner by email for each of these books, because I have more than one. All right, so starting with Contending with Christianity's Critics. Next one, Passionate Conviction, Contemporary Discourses in Christian Apologetics by Paul Copan and William Lane Craig. Again, by Paul Copan and William Lane Craig. It's similar to Contending with Christianity's Critics, slightly different authors. So it has a chapter by J.P. Moreland, Doug Guyvett, Jay Richards, N.T. Wright, Craig Hazen, Frank Beckwith, Dr. R. Scott Smith, who was one of my professors at Biola, and Sean McDowell, also one of my professors at Biola. So really solid little book, Passionate Conviction. Same thing. Share the website on your socials. Take a screenshot and send that screenshot in an email to contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. That's all you have to do for any of these books. So we're going to be picking, how many books do I have? 4, 5. I have 5 books. So if we get 5 people sending an email, they're all going to be winners of a book. All right. Next book by Dr. William Lane Craig, A Reasonable Response, Answers to Tough Questions on God, Christianity, and the Bible. Also co-authored by Joseph Gora. So this takes a lot of Dr. Craig's Question of the Week articles and really adds to them. There's additional reflections on these questions, as well as resources, additional resources to point you in the right direction. More definitions of terms. Yeah. So really, really solid book.
Man, I thought that book was only the questions of the week in print. That's why I never I wasn't so that interested in buying that, because I said, well, so there's more.
Here, supplemental recommended resources
on each of the wow.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let me take the screenshot right now.
You can.
Let me share this. Wow. Oh, man, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Now you know. You work for Reasonable Faith, really?
I mean, man, I mean, come on. Dr. Craig has over 30 books. We can't know all of them.
That's true. That's true. All right. Speaking of, here's another one. Hard Questions, Real Answers. Another Dr. Craig book. We're giving this one away on the Sound Faith Facebook page too, but you can win it here. But this is a really cool book because a lot of people know Dr. Craig for his academic work on philosophy and theology. A lot of people aren't familiar with his more personal, experiential work. So this book really tackles some cultural issues and personal issues. Like he has chapters on doubt, unanswered prayer, failure, suffering and evil. And then he also has chapters on cultural topics like abortion and homosexuality and religious pluralism. So really, really cool little book. I'm trying to get it into as many hands as possible. So if you'd like a free copy of this one, again, share soundfaith24.com on your socials and take a screenshot. Send that screenshot to us via email at the email address contact@soundfaithconsulting.com, which Raul has put in the Facebook comment. Again, that's contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. and you will be in the running for one of these books. We're giving away 5 books. I've gone through 4, so I only have 1 book left.
How much time do they have to send the emails?
I will close the giveaway in 2 hours.
Okay.
So 2 hours to get that email in. So do it soon.
All right.
All right, we have 1 more book. Ready? Can I get a drum roll?
I can't do that with my AirPods.
Bam! Philosophical Foundations for a Christian Worldview. Bam! 2nd edition, thicker than the first. This is one of our go-tos, something that we give away actually to each Reasonable Faith chapter director, which we will talk about here in a minute because Raul wanted to know how to become a chapter director. But this book is just a masterpiece, written by Dr. William Lane Craig and J.P. Moreland. This is, I believe it was an award winner when it first came out in the 1st edition, but it covers a huge amount of ground. We're talking about introduction to philosophy and argumentation, logic. It covers epistemology, metaphysics, philosophy of science, ethics, and philosophy of religion and philosophical theology. How many pages is this? It's like 638 pages of pure awesomeness. So
yeah, and I mean it covers almost every topic or most of the topics related to Christian philosophy and how it impacts the theology behind it. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
yes. All right. So there you have it. We've got 5 books to give away. All you have to do to get in the running for one of those books is to share the website, soundfaith24.com, on your social media and take a screenshot. Send that screenshot via email to contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. We will notify you by email if you are the winner of one of these books so that we can get mailing address information and get those books shipped out. Very, very fun. I love giving stuff away, dude. I can't wait for the conference because we're going to have whole tables full of resources to give away. So we're going to give everybody a little bag, and they're going to be able to put a bunch of free stuff in there, as well as purchase books from some of the speakers there as well. So we're going to have books to both sell and give away. And some of the speakers are going to be selling their books at the conference as well. So that'll be fun.
Cool.
We need more Sound Faith Consulting swag to sell. So we didn't plan this, people, but Raul and I both wore our Sound Faith Consulting shirts. Look at that. You can't see it. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
And I was gonna put my what is it, sweatshirt?
Hoodie?
My hoodie. The hoodie. But I mean, it's hot here, and yeah, I don't want to be all sweaty and presenting and being here in the camera. But yeah, no, I have a hoodie. I have my hat of Sound Faith Consulting. And it's pretty good.
The hoodie is really good quality. I was very impressed with the hoodie qualities. And actually, you guys, if you're watching, you can actually get a Sound Faith Consulting hoodie if you become a member of our Patreon. So go to Patreon, look us up, Sound Faith Consulting at Patreon. And if you sign up for the top tier membership, you can get a Sound Faith Consulting hoodie. And there are other tiers too, where you can get like a Sound Faith Consulting mug. And I think there's one that's like a sticker that you can put on your laptop or whatever else. I never talk this much. I'm always the guy like behind the keyboard typing. And so anytime I'm doing a bunch of talking, I'm like, my throat, I'm dying. William Del Carmen. He says he wants one. I should get you one. Yeah, you're on our team. you're a valuable, essential member of the Sound Faith Consulting team. I need to get you a Sound Faith Consulting hoodie. Remind me. Remind me after this. I need to get you one. All right. For Rahil. Raul, can you help out Rahil? He wants to know, how can you become a chapter director of Reasonable Faith?
All right. Well, the process is pretty simple. They need to go to Reasonable Faith, and there's the website, I mean, reasonablefaith.org. And there's a section there that says chapters or RF chapters. And there's a form that they need to fill out with his name, his contact email, and a little bit more information. And that information will receive it and send you the study guide of the book Reasonable Faith, Dr. Craig's book Reasonable Faith, 3rd edition. This study guide is a way that you need, it's a bunch of questions that you need to answer with the information in the book, and you need to fill the questions with your answers, with your thoughts, reflections of what you learned from the book, and send it back to us. Once we receive it, either Tyson or me will review it and do give you some feedback if necessary, and if not, we'll schedule a meeting with you. You also need to send us your testimony and the what was it? 2 contact information of your leaders and pastors from the local church where you attend, because that's really important for us that you attend a local church. And that's basically it. During the meeting with Tyson or with me, we'll discuss your new responsibilities as a chapter director, what you need to do, what your chapter needs to look like in a superficial level, what topics are you going to discuss, stuff like that. We'll discuss all of that, but mainly that's about it. Just fill in the form at the Reasonable Faith website. We'll send you the study guide. Send the study guide with your answers from the Reasonable Faith book, and that's basically it. And it's a little bit long study guide because it covers all of the material in the book.
That's a huge
from the preface. Yeah, from the preface all the way up to the concluding chapter, chapter number 8, or no, chapter number 8 is on the resurrection. The concluding chapter on the importance of apologetics and your own life and stuff like that. It covers all of it. So it's long, but it's really easy to answer because the questions already have the pointers where you can go to the page of the book and find the answer. So you can fill it fairly quickly. It's long, but you can answer quickly. And that's about it. That's everything that you need to do. Show us that you can master the content on the book Reasonable Faith, and you become a chapter director.
Yeah, it is a very simple process. That study guide is really the hardest part, I would say, because it is such a long study guide. But like you said, the study guide has the page numbers where you can find the answer. So you should be able to finish the study guide pretty quickly. Everybody always has trouble on one particular question in that study guide. So it's pretty much a guarantee every single time. It's you're familiar with the one that I'm talking about, right? The Bayes theorem question.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, everybody runs into that buzzsaw in the study guide, but no, it's not.
I don't know if it's cheating or not, but sometimes when people really, really struggle with those questions, I found some YouTube videos that explain them step by step. The Bayes theorem, not the Bayes theorem to apply to the resurrection. Obviously, for that they'll need to go to Dr. Craig or to Tim McGrew. But they're just basic mathematic, easy to understand videos on how the Bayes theorems work, and I send to them when they're really, really struggling.
Good. Yeah, you should send me those. I didn't know you had those. So yeah, those.
Well, actually, it's a dub video because I think the original video is in English. from this YouTube channel, and then I don't know how I did it, but for some reason I found the same video dubbed in Spanish. So I took that link, and that's the one that I sent, because I am the one that revises the Spanish study guides. But yeah, I'll look for the video and send it to you.
Yeah, good. All right, well, Raheel, that is how you become a Reasonable Faith chapter director. We are looking to help people start Reasonable Faith chapters all over the world, wherever they are. It's really a way for us to support local apologists in their communities so that they have a platform and support for doing the work of apologetics in their areas. And also a way to get connected to other Christians who are in this field, right? Being in the area of apologetics can be very lonely because there aren't a lot of people in congregations that have this type of training or interest. And so by becoming a chapter director, you really get plugged into a large network of people who share similar concerns and interests. And it's just great to have the fellowship of people in this field. So yeah, I hope you become a Reasonable Faith chapter director. All right.
You
Well,
guys.
yeah. All right. The conference. So it's coming up November 22nd, 23rd. It's going to be in Escondido, California at Emmanuel Faith Community Church. Again, I cannot stress enough, we would love to have you guys there, either in person or via the live stream. Let other people know as well. We want as many people to be exposed to this information as possible. You don't get these opportunities to get these particular speakers together in the same place at the same time very often. It's very rare, especially these days. Dr. Craig, he's been turning down a lot of speaking engagements left and right because he is focusing so much of his time and attention on completing his systematic philosophical theology. So he's really been kind of hermiting himself in his study at home and turning down a bunch of speaking engagements. So the fact that we have him at this conference is brilliant. It's just, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities like this. So especially both in person and live streaming. So definitely want to encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity. Maybe make it into like a watch party, invite a bunch of people, have them over, make a bunch of food, and, watch these talks, and then have some great discussion afterwards. Talk about what you heard, what you agree with, what you disagree with, things that you might need clarification on. And it could be, like kind of a substitute small group, right? Instead of chatting about how people feel about a passage of scripture, you can be learning some solid reasons for thinking that Christianity is true and hearing really good answers to the objections that people have to Christianity. So very highly encourage you to attend this unique conference. This is unique in a couple of senses. One, it's these particular speakers, I don't believe, have ever come together at the same conference at the same time, but also because it's our first conference, right? This is the first conference that Sound Faith Consulting has put on. So you guys get to be part of something that we hope to be an annual event. Like I said, the Evangelical Theological and Philosophical Societies have their conference every single year, and it bounces around the U.S. From location to location year after year. So we hope to put on one of these conferences every year after ETS, EPS. So I believe, where is it next year? I think it's in Boston. Is it in Boston?
It's already out.
Huh?
It's already out where it's going to be next year?
Yeah. You just look up the Evangelical Theological Society future meetings. I've got it right here.
Okay.
Let's see. Future meetings. Next year, 2025, Tuesday, November 18th, Thursday, November 20th. It's going to be in Boston, Massachusetts. And then 2026, it's going to be in Denver, Colorado.
I've
2027.
never been to. Well, I've been to Denver, but I've never been to Massachusetts. Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, Boston. And then 2027 is going to be in Washington, D.C., which is pretty cool. I have some family out that way, so that'll be nice. And then 2028 back to Boston. That's pretty interesting. Usually they throw in Texas quite a bit in there, but I guess maybe they've done too many in Texas, so they want to give the East Coast some love.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. All right, so you guys have the details now. You've got a chance to win free stuff. We're super excited about this conference. We want to see all of you there. It's a great opportunity to learn from the best. These guys are the top apologists and defenders of the Christian faith and thinkers, Christian thinkers in the world. And so we're bringing them all together for you guys to learn from, to benefit from, and then to go out and to share that information with others. So we hope you take advantage of this opportunity. And we are very excited to see so many of you at the conference, as well as interact with you online. If you have any questions or need some clarification about anything about the conference, feel free to either message us at the Sound Faith Consulting Facebook page or contact us through the contact form at the website, soundfaith24.com. Raul, you got anything else for us?
Well, I'm just pretty excited to see everybody there. This is a rare opportunity that we can get together to connect with other people with the same interests. I've spent a lot of time in my local church trying to find somebody who got excited when the topic of God and his omniscience came up, and how does this relate to God's sovereignty and stuff like that, and human freedom. And it's pretty rare. But in these conferences, you're able to meet other people with the same interests as you and have really great discussion, and even discuss this with the major defenders of the Christian faith that deal with these subjects over and over again. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I always fish. I always feel like a fish in the water when I'm at EPS, ETS, and now Sound Faith. I'm just gonna be pretty excited to meet everybody there.
Yeah, super excited that Raul is traveling all the way from Mexico to join us out there. He's going to be a huge help, and just be great to see my brother once again in person. It's been a while. It's been too long. You
Yeah,
missed the last couple of
it's been too
conferences.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I need to catch up.
yeah. It'll be great to catch up. All right. Well, I think that's all we got. Once again, if you want to enter the giveaway for any of the tickets or the books, you know what to do. For the live stream ticket, you will email us at contact@soundfaithconsulting.com, and in the subject line, write live stream ticket. For in-person tickets, we have 2 to give away. You'll email us at contact@soundfaithconsulting.com, and in the subject line, write in-person ticket. And then for the books, we have 5 to give away. Once again, what you'll do is share the conference website, soundfaith24.com, on your social media. It can be any social media, so Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, whatever you want. But take a screenshot of that post and then send that screenshot to us via email at contact@soundfaithconsulting.com. And in the next 2 hours, we'll be drawing the winners of those books. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the comments from everybody who commented. We are continuing to bring you guys the best events and content that we can. So thank you for your support. And we look forward to seeing so many of you at Sound Faith 24.
See you around.
All right, Raul. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, brother.